Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. Today, we're diving into a heartfelt and emotional journey, a story of resilience,
Mấy hôm nay
love,
mưa bão.
and the quiet strength of a family facing life's toughest challenges. From battling the storms in a fragile bamboo hut to slowly building a new home, piece by piece, this is a story that will touch your heart. If you enjoy content like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. Let's get into it. Rain crashes against the thin roof of their patched-up shelter, each drop echoing through the fragile palm leaves. Inside, Day sits cross-legged on a worn-out mat, his tired eyes holding a flicker of hope as he looks over at Huyen. They're talking about something unexpected. Money sent by two strangers. It's not a fortune, but in their world, it's a miracle. Day clenches his fists, voice low and steady. "We're buying wood, Huyen. Bamboo rots too fast. This winter, we need something solid." Huyen nods, her eyes lighting up, but there's still worry etched deep in her face. The rain hasn't stopped for days. Their small earnings are barely enough to patch the leaks. But this money, it's like a sliver of sunshine breaking through the storm. Still, Dee's voice grows firmer, almost defiant. "We're thankful, but we'll stand on our own. No one can carry us forever." Huyen manages a faint smile, fingers brushing the tangled strands of her hair. Her heart's caught in the middle, thankful for kindness, but heavy with the pressure to keep moving forward. This crumbling shelter, where little Maya sleeps, curled in a blanket, is a constant reminder of everything they're fighting against. Day stares out at the doorway, the rain still falling like a challenge. He rises slowly, his eyes burning with a quiet fire. "If the rain stops tomorrow, I'll go find extra work. We need that wood." Huyen grips his hand, her voice barely above a whisper. "Just don't push yourself too hard, Day." And in that quiet moment, with the rain beating its rhythm on their home, they feel something powerful. Not just the weight of survival, but the invisible thread of kindness from people they've never met. That money isn't just cash. It's a spark, a reason to believe again. The new house they dream of? It's more than walls and a roof. It's hope. The next morning, clouds finally start to break. Faint sunlight pierces through the gray, reflecting off puddles and soaking mud. Dee steps outside, boots sinking into the wet path leading to the fields. His shirt is threadbare, clinging to his gaunt frame, but his steps are strong. Inside, the weight of the donated money sits with Huyen. It's a start, yes, but it won't finish the job. That depends on Dee and whatever work he can find. Out in the distance, the field comes into view. Other workers are already there, cutting dry grass, moving quickly before the rain returns. Dee inhales deeply and mutters to himself, "Whatever job they've got, I'll take it. For Huyen, for Maya." Back home, Huyen sweeps the dirt floor, eyes lingering on the empty spot where Dee sat earlier. She sees his exhaustion, even when he tries to hide it. His thin face, the dark circles under his eyes. She whispers, more to herself than to him, "Don't wear yourself down, Duh." But she knows he has to. She knows he won't stop. Her pride in him mixes with worry that never seems to leave. Out in the field, Dee gets to work. His sickle swings through the tall grass, rhythm steady. Every swipe is a promise. Each bundle he gathers is a small brick in the future they're building. He doesn't pause. Sweat rolls down his face, but he keeps going. This isn't just labor, it's purpose. Back in the hut, Huyen holds Maya in her arms, rocking her gently. She looks out at the fields, heart aching with silent hope. Just stay strong, Day. We need this house to stand. As the sun pushes further through the clouds, it catches on Dee's face. He smiles faintly, imagining Maya playing safely inside a finished home. His muscles ache, but his determination is stronger. In this field, with every swing of the sickle, he isn't just earning wages, he's cutting through doubt and fear. That steady rhythm of his tool matches the beating of his heart. It's the sound of a man trying to lift his family into a better life. And though Huyen can't see him, her quiet prayers float on the breeze, holding him up. In the soft, muddy field, Day isn't just working. He's fighting for hope. Inside the hut, shadows stretch across the dirt floor as Huyen sweeps again. Dust floats in the dim light. Nearby, Maya sits quietly, her small hands pressed to her cheek, whimpering in discomfort. Huyen stops immediately, her heart tightening. She kneels beside Maya, gently lifting her face. Which one hurts? Let me see. Her breath catches. Maya's baby teeth are dark, riddled with cavities. It's like seeing wounds inside her own child's smile. Huyen's chest tightens with guilt. How did I miss this? She thinks. Amid storms and survival and daily worries, she hadn't seen this coming. And now, it's here. Her daughter's pain. But Maya's eyes, though teary, still trust her. That innocent trust snaps Huyen out of her panic. She hugs her close, voice shaking. I'll take you to the doctor, okay? We'll fix it. No more pain. Tears threaten to spill, but she blinks them away. She can't afford to break down. Not now. The cost of care, the time away from work, they're heavy, but they can't outweigh her child's need. Maya nods softly, her voice no louder than a breath. Yes, Mom. That's all it takes. Something lights up inside Huyen. She stands, sweeps faster now, her body moving with new urgency. She's thinking of Dee in the fields, of how hard he pushes himself. She needs to be just as strong. This old hut, with its leaking roof and scarred walls, isn't just where Maya sleeps. It's where she's growing up. And Huyen refuses to let it define their lives. Fear transforms into fuel. She wipes her brow, lifts Maya gently, and steps outside. They're heading to the clinic, no matter what it costs, no matter what it takes. The dirt path seems longer today, but her steps are steady. Each one echoes a promise to mend not just Maya's teeth, but the cracks in their fragile life. The world beyond is uncertain, but Huyen's love is not. It's fierce, unbreakable, a light in the storm. The small dental clinic buzzed quietly, the air filled with the faint scent of antiseptic. Maya sat in the chair, wide-eyed, clutching Huyen's shirt tightly. The dentist, calm and composed, examined her teeth and said, "Calcium deficiency, 3 cavities. We need to fill them right away." Huyen nodded, feeling both relief and worry about the cost. She gently stroked Maya's hair and whispered, "You're so brave. No crying, okay?" Maya nodded, lips trembling, but trying to be strong. The whine of the drill pierced the room, slicing straight into Huyen's anxious heart. Each sound felt like it was scraping against her nerves. She stood close, fists clenched, doing her best to stay steady as the dentist worked. The doctor worked carefully, filling each cavity. When he was done, he gave his instructions. No more sweets. Brush twice a day. Huyen nodded earnestly, committing every word to memory. Her resolve hardened. She would change Maya's habits and protect that smile. When it was over, Maya grinned shyly, her smile brighter despite lingering nervousness. Huyen pulled her in for a hug, relief washing over her like sunlight after weeks of rain. "Does it still hurt, baby?" she asked, her eyes shimmering with hope. Maya shook her head and whispered, "No, Mommy." Just those two words, soft, small, cleared away the storm clouds in Huyen's heart. She held Maya's hand as they stepped outside. The light outside wrapped around them like a warm blanket. Huyen thought of Dee, of their half-built house, and felt a warmth rise within her. The road ahead was still uncertain, but this was a small victory, a step toward Maya's healthier future. Huyen held her daughter's hand tighter, and they walked forward together. They didn't have much, but they had love, determination, and that was enough to keep moving. The clinic faded behind them, but today's quiet triumph lingered, a small but powerful beacon of resilience. In Maya's brave little smile, Huyen saw a future where love and effort could heal every wound. The village market bustled under the afternoon sun. Dee stood at the lumber stall, eyes fixed on the solid acacia planks. The vendor, voice rough and direct, said, "Acacia, no termites, 180,000 per bundle." Dee nodded, then asked gently, "Any chance you could go a bit lower?" The vendor shook his head, but there was kindness in his eyes. Dee understood. He didn't push further. He reached into his pocket, pulled out the donated money, and counted each bill carefully. His heart weighed with both pride and pressure. He thought of Huyen, of Maya, of the house that would finally shield them from the storms. Purchase done, Dee hauled the heavy wood onto his shoulders. His steps were slow, but his heart felt lighter. He had taken the first real step. At home, Huyen rushed out when she saw him, her eyes glowing with excitement. "You got it!" she exclaimed, her fingers brushing the wood like it was something sacred. Dee smiled, sweat streaming down his face. "Good wood, Huyen. Way stronger than bamboo." Huyen nodded, joy bubbling up, though a flicker of concern still lingered. There was much more work ahead. Together, they looked at the pile of wood, already picturing their future home. Maya came running, her little hands touching the planks as she asked, "Will our house be pretty, Mom?" Huyen laughed and pulled her daughter close. Dee watched them, warmth swelling in his chest. But his shoulders still carried the weight of responsibility. Each plank was a step forward, but the road was far from over. As the sun dipped toward the horizon, Dee grabbed the saw and began cutting wood, each stroke a vow. Huyen stood beside him, her eyes shining with hope. In that moment, they weren't just building a house. They were building belief, one board at a time. The setting sun bathed the scene in gold, casting long shadows, but their shared dream burned even brighter, unyielding, even as the night approached. Morning light seeped through the cracks in the roof, softly illuminating the fresh wood stacked in their shelter. Day and Huyen worked side by side, measuring, cutting, sweat soaking their shirts. The sharp rasp of the saw mixed with their heavy breathing, but their eyes burned with unshakable resolve. Dee carefully lined up a plank, voice low but steady. "It needs to be straight, Huyen. The walls won't hold if it's not right." Huyen nodded, holding the board firm, her heart swelling with belief in the home they were creating. Maya ran around them, trying to lift a small piece of wood. "I can help," she chirped happily. Huyen smiled, then quickly warned, "Careful, sweetie. It's dangerous." Dee watched his daughter, his heart softening. He set about fixing her old toy cart so she could walk it safely. "When the house is done, you'll have a good place to play," he murmured to himself. The hammering echoed through the space, each strike a promise for tomorrow. Huyen wiped the sweat from her brow, memories rushing back. Those endless rainy days, Day's exhaustion, Maya's aching teeth. She felt the invisible thread tying them all together. Their little family, fragile but fiercely united. Day caught her gaze, and in that look, he said everything he didn't need to speak. "We'll make it." Maya looked up at them, smiling like a ray of sunshine cutting through hardship. Tired as they were, they pressed on. Each fitted board was more than just a wall. It was hope. A gentle breeze brought the scent of damp earth, reminding them of everything they had survived. They stood together, a family building a dream on the border between poverty and perseverance. In that moment, the house was more than wood and nails. It was love and the strength that comes from refusing to give up. The half-built walls rose behind them, a testament to their unity, a fragile yet fierce defiance against the weight of the world. The sun began to set, bathing the unfinished house in golden light. Dee drove the final nail, sweat glistening on his face as he looked proudly at the new wooden wall. Huyen stepped into the kitchen, lit the fire, and the scent of rice drifted through the air, pushing back the evening chill. Maya dashed about, no longer wincing from pain, her smile as bright as the last rays of sunlight. Day sat down and looked at Huyen, his voice warm. "Tomorrow, I'll make shrimp. Maya loves that." Huyen smiled back, eyes sparkling with ease she hadn't felt in weeks. She remembered the rainy days, the endless stress, and the strangers who had given them a chance. "Day, the house is almost done," she said softly, voice catching in her throat. Day nodded, tousling Maya's hair, soaking in the simple joy of the moment. They didn't have much, but they had each other, and a house rising from hard work and love. Maya looked up and asked, "Is our house pretty now, Dad?" Day laughed, a rare sound after so many silent, weary days. "It's very pretty, kiddo." Huyen placed the rice down. Firelight danced across their faces, casting a warm glow, a beacon for the days ahead. They sat together around their humble meal. Laughter replaced the sound of wind outside. The journey was still long, but this moment was a triumph. A family, a home, a dream, alive. They met Huyen's eyes, and in that look, a silent promise. We've made it this far. Outside, the twilight deepened, but their home stood tall, unfinished, yet shining with unbreakable hope, with love that no storm could wash away. The fire crackled gently, warming their little circle as the world outside faded.
nhưng
In this
vẫn bị che
fragile
phủ bởi
shelter,
những tình cảm chưa
their
nói
shared
ra
dream
và sự phản
glowed,
đối từ gia đình.
built from sacrifice,
Ở nhà, Alex phải
sealed
đối
with
mặt với
unity.
sự cương quyết của chị gái,
In a
yêu cầu
small,
anh giữ khoảng
weather-worn
cách,
village,
nhưng